Hey there to all my listeners out there, podcasting from Ontario, California. Welcome to Fractured Poet, a podcast for all of you poetically insane people out there who love getting lost in the art of poetry. I am your host, Katrina Wisniewski, just another person in the world, obsessed with words, striving to make sense of it all. Today's poetry theme is music. I love writing poems about music because it takes me back to all of the concerts I have been to over the years, especially during this whole pandemic. I wrote both of these poems while I was listening to music, and it sparked an urge to write, so I did. This poem is called Paralyzing Melody. You are a melody I cannot mute. To take a sip is such an intoxicating delight. Infatuated by the thought of you, I am completely undone. You are a lullaby I will always remember, a sweet serenade, so hypnotizing. Paralyzed by your presence, I am trapped, leaving me in an irresistible state of mind. Your existence is overwhelming, falling head over heels. I am yours. After reading this poem, the song I was listening to when I got the idea to write was These Things by a band called Fuel. I think what triggered the song was the guitar solo towards the end of the song. There's something about guitar riffs that just gets me. I instantly melt when I hear the perfect guitar riff. I have a lot of poems like this where I can be listening to a song and have a sudden urge to write a poem about what I am feeling in that moment. And that feeling can be about my reaction to the song, the way it sounds, whatever else comes with it. I love moments like that. So the next poem is called Endless Riff. I am fascinated by the thought of you and the way you play your guitar. The sounds it makes drives me crazy. I can't help but want more. Taking in every note, allowing my body to drown in your rhythm, sending chills up and down my spine. All I can do is ache for more. Please don't stop. Okay, so again, I think you can kind of gather how much I love guitars and the sounds they make. The sound of a guitar, acoustic or electric, is so soothing and hypnotizing to me. I love writing about music. Reading poems about music allows me to fall in love with the music that much more. With everything going on in the world, it sort of makes one think about all of the things you have taken for granted, live music being one of them. I used to go to concerts a lot. It was a home away from home. And to experience live music at its finest, to be able to listen to my favorite guitar solos in person, oh man, I get so weak in the knees, it's ridiculous. Giddy little girl. Just talking about it makes me miss going to concerts and having that experience in person. And since I am not all about that lovey-dovey romantic poetry writing stuff, writing poems like this is my version of romance. As you can kind of guess, I get pretty intense. And as I have mentioned before, music is something I'm very passionate about. And, metal music being one of them, drums and guitars, they draw me in. And I could be listening to music in the dark or wherever I'm at, and it draws so much thought out of me that I can't help but write a poem about it. Just the way that I feel in the moment, what I'm feeling as I'm listening to the song, what a certain guitar riff makes me feel like, what listening to a drum solo makes me feel like, or even the vocals, just the lyrics in general. And writing about it, I get really, really passionate, and I focus on that. Or if I'm at a concert, obviously I'm not going to write a poem while I'm at a concert, but remembering what the concert was about and what I was feeling in that time, I can come home at like 1 o'clock in the morning from a concert and I can draw up a poem in like 5 minutes, just basically summarizing everything that I witnessed and everything that I saw and experienced at that concert. So writing poetry that has music theme to it is something I enjoy doing. Some of it's repetitive, I've noticed, while looking through more of my poems that are music related. Some of it is repetitive and some of them say the same things. So, but it still goes to show you that I am very passionate about, both music and poetry, and it shows in both. I don't think I've mentioned it, but I was a band geek when I was in elementary school from fifth grade up until freshman year of high school. Even though it's totally different than being in an actual band, but, I played clarinet from fifth grade up until freshman year of high school, and I love playing music. I can pick up an instrument and I could play a song just randomly. I've never played piano. I never took lessons. I self-taught myself how to play a song or two that I played while playing the clarinet, or even playing a clarinet to a song that I was listening to. So music has always been in my life, and I've been introduced to so many different types of music of the rock genre, but different bands, and just getting the feel of different instruments like guitars. I got really into, even though I don't know how to play, I have one, but I never learned how to play, and I really wish I could have or should have, or whatever. But another band that draws me in guitar wise and even drums is Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey Buckingham and Mick Fleetwood. Oh my fucking God. Like, they're amazing, amazing people. Listening to Lindsey Buckingham in I'm So Afraid, the guitar solo is just, oh my God, I melt to the floor. My knees get so weak. It's just, I can listen to it on repeat for hours. But again, I can sit here and talk about music for hours, but it just, an example of, the passion that is shown in my poetry when I write about music. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a huge music buff. I love metal music. I love guitars. I love drums. I love listening to music. It draws me in, like poetry. It's a home away from home, and I can, express myself in the music I listen to, and it takes me away from a lot of life's bullshit. And since I'm not all about that lovey-dovey with romantic poetry, writing poems like this is my version of romance, if you couldn't tell. But enough of my rambling about my obsession with music. That pretty much wraps up the show. So, to those of you who are always tuning in, and even those who are just tuning in, I hope you liked what you heard. I hope I wasn't rambling too much. And you guys tune in next time. You can catch this episode and future episodes at anchor.fm/fractured poet. And this episode of Fractured Poet was written and produced by me, Katrina Wisniewski. Music by both Alternative Rock Volume 1 and Rock Electronica Volume 4 from the website freeplaymusic.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Fractured Poet. And as always, thanks for listening, and until next time, guys.